Good morning, you guys, or whatever time of the day it is for you. Welcome back to Plow and Pantry, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Alicia, and today I know it's been a hot minute since I made a video, but I thought I'd hop on here because I have gotten some questions asking whether or not I'm doing the Pantry Challenge again this year, and I am. So this video is just all about the Three Rivers Challenge. I'll explain in a second, Pantry Challenge, and other January videos like Canuary. So last year, I decided to join the Three Rivers Challenge. Before doing YouTube, I did a pantry challenge myself. I always did it in February for my own reasons. January usually has good sales. But last year, I have seen the videos from, I think it's Jessica over at Rivers Homestead. I will link her channel below. She puts on a challenge that's open to everybody every year. It's called the Three Rivers Challenge. That's the name of her channel, Rivers Homestead. And the challenge it's a pantry challenge, but it's a 2-month challenge, January and February. I did do it last year. I was a little nervous about the 2 months. I can link the playlist for you if you want to see those videos. It actually went pretty well, easier than I thought. And if you watched last year, you remember that I kept it a secret from my family that I was doing a pantry challenge, and they didn't figure it out until almost the very end, which was fun. This year, I'm not keeping it a secret. They're all gonna know, but I am gonna go ahead and try for the 2 months. Now, Three Rivers Homestead is not the only channel doing a pantry challenge. Some people are doing them on their own. Leisa over at Sutton's Daze is doing one. She does one every January, and she's a great channel. I can link hers as well. Leisa also does Canuary, which I'm also doing in January. Now, to be clear though, Canuary has become kind of a pervasive term for people that can in January and make videos about it. The term though, I'm pretty sure was coined by Leisa, and she does a collab with giveaways, and I'm not part of that collab with the giveaways, I just want you to know. But I am canning in January along with a lot of other people. Leisa also has coined the term ugly chicken, which is what a lot of us canners now use when we raw pack canned chicken, which is delicious, by the way. So I will link her channel below if you are interested in seeing Canuary and Pantry Challenge for Leisa over at Sutton's Daze too. So I will be bringing you in January and February, I'll be bringing you Pantry Challenge updates about every week. And I will be bringing you canning videos, just extra canning videos in January about every week too, along with the regular videos. I'm gonna get back on schedule here. December was busy, I'm sure it was for you too. But I'm gonna get back on schedule with the regular gardening. Right now it's kind of maintenance and prep mode and I'm still tearing out the summer garden. I'm also prepping for bees, things like that. So regular food preservation, gardening, canning, and the pantry challenge. So I'll be bringing you what I've made every week. I'm hoping to be really good about getting pictures or footage of that. It's not always my strong suit. And how it went at the end. Also, with the Three Rivers Homestead Challenge, which by the way, if you want to see more of those videos, just search the hashtag Three Rivers Challenge in the search bar of your YouTube thing, and you'll get like all the videos of people participating and past videos, stuff like that. So with her challenge though, you set your own rules, which is something I do anyways, whether you're supposed to or not, because if you do a challenge of any sort, there's usually some sort of benefit that you want from it that is going to help you out in some way. And so I've always looked at challenges as they need to serve me, because that's the point of doing them. If you do like this, maybe an exercise challenge, it needs to be the type of exercise you can do and stick to, that type of thing. So with the Three Rivers Challenge, it is an open, make your own rules thing. Last year, I allowed myself $25 a week for groceries. We have a family of 5. My son is here. He's in college. He's at the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. He is here for a little while longer before he'll be gone. But while he's here, he eats a lot. In addition to, so this year with the $25, I considered lowering it because last year actually was not hard at all to do that. It was like at the very end, I got a little stretched, but for the most part, it wasn't hard. And I choose to do that. Some people don't go to the store at all during this challenge. Some people only do it for 1 month. It's up to you what you want to do. But I had chosen to spend a small amount each week because I wanted to stay in salads, fresh produce, milk and orange juice, those things. And I still want to do that. I actually had more room than I thought last year from that. I decided though, this year when I was considering doing less, I was like, you know what? There's a couple mitigating factors here. One, I working on another cookbook. If you didn't know, I am a cookbook author. I have the cookbook Eat Your Veggies available on Amazon in Kindle or print, and it is every recipe in there has a vegetable. It's not a vegetarian cookbook. There are meat recipes, but every recipe has a vegetable, everything from breakfast and beverages to dessert. And I love that kind of lane that I was in for that, and I have decided that I want to do more seasonal ones, like a summer cookbook, a fall cookbook, stuff like that. And so last summer I started working with my summer produce on making a new summer cookbook, but I would like to release it early this summer, and I didn't finish it, so I need a little wiggle room for working on that. In addition to that, some prices have still been rising, at least in my area. I have not seen a drop in grocery prices. I've seen an occasional sale on something that's like, oh, maybe prices are going to go down, but then it doesn't. So between the further growth in prices and needing occasional extra ingredients that are specifically for the purpose of work, I decided to go ahead and keep that $25 limit each week. And there is like a partial week left over. I do prorate that at the end for a couple days. Some people ask, if I'm gonna buy some things during the pantry challenge, what's the point of doing it? And there are a lot of reasons to do a pantry challenge, and they vary per person, which is why the rules should vary per person. And for me, part of it is helping make sure that I rotate my stock, because, you know, like you can a bunch of stuff during the year, and maybe I have a spot for my tomatoes, but I have a good tomato year. This past year, I did not have a good tomato year. But then I have to overflow other things. So little spots get lost here and there. And so it's a way to get things reorganized, make sure I'm doing it in the right order, make sure I'm using up the stuff first that needs to be used up first. It helps me be more creative. And also I tend to come across projects that I have set aside for later in the year, and this is the perfect time to do them. For example, I know that I put goat's milk from a friend in my outside freezer to make goat's milk soap. And I've only made one batch, and I've got more out there. And I want to make shampoo bars with it too. And when I come to that, I can do that project. I know that I have frozen fruit out in my deep freezer that I bought when it was on sale, thinking when I have time, I'm gonna throw this in the freeze dryer, because freeze-dried fruit is a great snack around here that all my kids love. So I come to things as they happen. Also, as far as the clean out goes and reorganizing, I like to wait for my long-term storage downstairs pantry until about halfway through, because I find it easier to organize things when it's less full. That's just how I like to do things. So I know right now I've got some projects that I need to do. I also know that I have potatoes and onions downstairs from the garden that are nearing the end of their life. Next year I plan on freeze drying more of those. Here is my disadvantage I'm starting at though. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I did not prep at all. Some people will go out and do a last minute like big grocery haul, and that's fine too, because that you still spend less at that time than you would over the 2 months. Some people do the pantry challenge to save money. I don't necessarily do that, but I do focus on what can I do with this extra money I'm gonna have. I've got some projects in mind for that. Also, I don't inventory my pantry. I have tried various methods of this and that over the years, and it just doesn't work for me. But because I home cook from scratch so much, I am in my pantry and my freezers so much that I'm pretty darn aware of what's there. So I don't really feel the need to do that. I just feel the need to once or twice a year kind of make sure that everything is still in order of stuff I need to use is in the front and I'm getting to it and using it. So if you are interested in inventorying yours though, I know Leisa Sutton's Daze has an inventory somewhere, and also Three Rivers Homestead has a cool way. I can link the video where she shows how she uses like a teacher grade book to do her inventory. I don't inventory. I have just come to more pantry peace, if you will, by not inventorying I think I stopped trying about 5 years ago, and I have just liked life that way. So my rules this year, I'm sticking with the $25 a week. That is mostly for fresh produce, milk and orange juice. And if I find a crazy good sale, I defined this last year as better than a normal sale. And especially if it's something I don't have a lot of. I know, like I did not prep. That's what I was about to say. I did not prep this year at all. I don't normally do a separate grocery haul and prep for a pantry challenge, but I will keep in mind as I'm shopping in December that this is coming up, I'm low on this, maybe I'll pick up a few extra. I didn't do that this year, I didn't have time. It was a year. So in all the good ways, it was a year in all the good ways, but I didn't have time. And so I am kind of at more of a disadvantage this year than I have been in the past. So we'll see if the $25 helps with that. I do engage in extra good sales. Like right now, I know that I am low because I didn't shop well and haven't seen a sale in a while. I'm low on ground beef. If I find a really good sale on ground beef, I'm buying it. I don't do the whole I'm not restocking thing. Normally I shop the sales and stock up then, and so I'm rarely paying full price, or only for a few ingredients in my cart am I paying full price. But this year I just haven't stocked as well. So for ground beef, I might just do a regular sale. But for something else, like making a roast, I know I have those in the freezer, so it's gotta be like $3 a pound for me to pick it up. Like it's gotta be a super really good sale, especially since I need to fit it in that $25 a week, which by the way, if I have something left over at the end of the week, I do add it to the next week and let myself kind of accrue money in case I come across something later. So in my case, I'm not doing like the buckle down pantry challenge. Could we make it if the end of the world happened? So I am probably less prepared than ever. This year, I would also like to do some organizing, some things differently. As I've added more freeze-dried food, I have not really gotten a good grasp on how I want to organize that. I keep some of it in jars, some of it in Mylar bags. I want to know that. Figure some things out, and also just the space I have, the type of shelves I have. I'd like to find some better ways to do a few things. And I will take you down there to my pantry when I do that. So I have not prepped at all. I'm doing $25 a week. My husband's birthday is in January. That does not count. Again, these are my rules. Everyone else can make their own. So here is my method that I use every year. I don't go down to my long-term storage pantry in the basement specifically to look for ways to use that in the beginning. I use that on a daily basis anyway. I'm up and down the stairs a few times a day, just getting ingredients that I store down there, or refilling the ingredients I store up here. Like if I'm out of oats up here, I've got to refill from my giant bucket down there, that type of thing. But what I do is I'll still use it like I normally do if I'm making something and the ingredients down there. What I do is I start up here in my kitchen. I start in my refrigerator. I will clean out my refrigerator and freezer tomorrow. It's January 1st tomorrow. My regular kitchen freezer, and right on the counter next to it, I keep some produce like potatoes and things. If any of that needs to be used up right away, I'll check on that. And then also my working pantry here in the kitchen, which is just like, it's like 6 shelves of the kind of stuff we use every day. Lunchbox snack, rice, some beans, a few cans of tomatoes, things like that. I'll clean that out as well because it's deep and it's kind of hard to keep things in organized. And so I like this time of year, and usually sometime in June or July, I'll also do it. I'll clean it out same reason, just to keep stuff going. So I start up here in my kitchen with what's there, and I will look for the things that need to be used up right away, and things that I bought intending for use and didn't ever get to it, I need to get to it, or things I bought and used part of but didn't need all of it, and so I need to finish it up. So in that sense, I will try to go through things and use stuff up. The downstairs pantry, I don't really feel like the whole use stuff up thing, other than when I start to go through it, if I find a few things that are going to expire in the next few months. Then I make sure that I am keeping an eye on my deep freezer in my garage, a big upright freezer, and I have an extra fridge with its little freezer out there. The extra fridge out there mostly stores extra cheese, extra drinks, and extra bread that I buy for the chickens. Then if I get through all of that and need more food, which I've never really gotten to that point, I will start working through my pantry downstairs. I also have a chest freezer with meat downstairs, because I will be using that as the month goes, just as I need it, as I use the other things up. So by the time I do that, the downstairs stuff is ready to be kind of like organized and put in its place and gone through and sorted and all that kind of stuff. So that is my method, is kind of like to start in the kitchen and work out, which makes sense because the stuff in the kitchen is more expirable, if that's a word. It's not. It's more quickly going to expire. It's the more fresh stuff. It's the stuff that needs to get used up. So I just find it easier I do want to do an overhaul, deep clean of the pantry downstairs. I just find it easier to do it when there's less stuff. So I will take you down there when I do that. I will take you through cleaning out my fridge and freezer tomorrow in my kitchen pantry, And I will try to remember to get either notes or pictures or both of what we're eating every day during this challenge. And don't forget, I'll be bringing you extra canning videos in January. Anyways, so for those of you who've been asking, yes, I am doing the pantry challenge again. And thanks for stopping by. I hope you hang out this month with me and we can do this together. Let me know in the comments if you're doing a pantry challenge and what your rules are. I'm always interested in hearing everybody's different ways they do things, because there's always a reason behind it, and I just think that that's cool. Anyways, I hope you guys have a super fabulous day. Thanks for spending your time with me today, and I hope to see you tomorrow when we clean out my fridge.